Okay, good morning, students. I think I had given you some questions on the chapter iteration conversion questions. In this video, I'm going to discuss a question I think which was very difficult for you all. I thought I'll be doing the video on it. Okay, you might be having difficulty in solving this question number 4, which I gave you to do. Okay, so if you see this question properly, we have two for loops. Okay, and whenever I told you that whenever we are going for conversions of loops, always remember the part which we need to convert. The rest part you have to write as it is. Like if you see in this question, we have to convert your two for loops. I'll just mark it. I have to convert this much part. You know why? If you see the bracket portion, we'll understand where the loop is ending. Okay, because we know when if you see the syntax properly, the whole for loop is your portion which contains these two brackets also. So inside that, till the whole portion is finished, when this for loop will get over, when this bracket is closed, and then the for loop will get over. So if you see in this example, I marked till after this if your if block also. Okay, so if you see properly, this for loop is starting here. Okay, this for loop is second for loop is starting here, and the second for loop is ending here. Clear? This type of loops are called as, when we have a loop inside a loop, is defined as an infinite loop. This is an example of an infinite loop. Okay, understood? You can also note it down if you want. A loop inside a loop is called as a infinite loop. Example of an infinite loop. Okay, understood? So if you see now, see for focus properly here, first this bracket is ending here. Okay, as we know, this for loop bracket is starting, bracket is this one and is ending here. Clear? If here doesn't have any bracket, because we know if there is no bracket, the first state will be inside the block. So if this SOP ln I is inside this if block, and this bracket denotes, this closing braces denotes that the first I loop, the for I loop, also called as the outer loop. If we have two loops, we denote it as outer loop and inner loop. So this is called the outer loop, the inside one will be called as the inner loop. So there are two loops we have. Okay, now we'll start converting one by one. Okay, so first of all, if you see one by one properly, that this whole part is the statement for your outer loop. Yes or no? This whole part becomes your statement for your inner loop, outer loop. Okay, the outer loop, that I loop. Okay, which we have. As you see the syntax here, we have initialization, condition, increment, decrement, and statements. Okay, here also we have initialization, condition, increment, and this whole part as a statement will be seeing. Okay, understood? The statement part will be again solving further. First we'll start writing the portion which is above it. Whatever we have, this whole part will be writing same as it is. Okay, then we'll start solving the other part. So I have written the for loop, I have written the portion which is above your for loops as it is. Okay, I've written in dot form. You please write it in your full forms when you write in your copies. Okay, now after that we start with the first step. We have I equals to 1 and the initialization. So when you're going for writing a do loop, we know what to do. Do loop when you're writing, first of all we have what? First we have initialization. If you see here, first initialization, then statement, increment, decrement, then while conditions. Well, for the first initialization step we'll write according to the example given the question what is given here. I will be equals to 1 as the initialization step. Clear all of you? Next is we have to write the do loop. Okay, inside the do loop we have to write what? First of all we have to write the statement. What we have is statement here in the example. In the example we have a statement as this whole part. Now in this statement I need to convert this whole part again. You can see here again we have a for loop and a if block. We'll be converting this first. Okay, so first of all we have c equals to 0. That will write. Clear all of you? Next we have the next for loop. We have a initial step j equals to 1. That will be writing. Clear all of you? After that what you have to do is we have to write the statement. After this initialization we have to again make a do loop. do and opening braces, and inside the do loop we have to write what? The statement. So in the next for loop, what we have? The statement. So the rounded circle inside the for loop, for your inner loop, J loop, this part is your statement for your second loop. Inside the I loop we have one more loop, that J loop. We'll be writing that. That is the statement. So inside do we have to first mention the statement. As you know, the do syntax, do while loop syntax, we have initialization then statement. Okay, so first we have written the initialization step, that is j equals to 1. Now the statement is if I greater than I remainder j double equals to 0 and c plus c equals c plus 1, that will be writing. Okay, so we have written the statement. After statement we have to write what? So in the do while, we after statement we have increment or decrement. So in this case we have our increment j plus plus, so we'll be writing that. Clear all of you? After the j loop, after your increment decrement, we have to close the do and then we have a condition, as you see in the example. Okay, so if I see here, we have to close the do loop and write the condition at j less than equals to 1. This is the condition for the inner loop. Okay, so j less than equals to 1, that we have to write after the do loop is closed. All of you, don't forget, after do while after the condition is given in do while loops, we have to put a semicolon. Clear all of you? After this, it means my statement part is over. No, we have just converted the inner for loop. After that we have if c double equals to 2 and sop ln I, that will be writing since the statement, this was the whole statement for the outer loop, that we have to complete it. Okay, so once this inner loop is finished, I have to write this part, then my statement for the outer loop will get over. Okay, so we're writing what? If c double equals to 2 and sop ln I. Clear all of you? After this, after my statement part is over, we are missing something. I have not written till now I plus plus, because we know after your statement is over, I've finished writing this whole statement, we need to write the increment. We also write this I plus plus, which is after your statement gets over in your do while loop. If you see the syntax, after statement we have increment or decrement. So in the outer loop we have I plus plus, so that will be writing. For all of you, after this is written, we'll close your do, the outer do loop. Okay, do block which we have written, and then the condition at the last. We know the syntax, while condition, which is of your outer loop, that is I less than equals to 100, that will be writing at the last, and we put a semicolon at the last. Understood all of you? Clear all of you? Now once this is over, your for loop is converted. Okay, and then the two braces are left out, that we have to write as it is. Okay, clear all of you? So this is how you convert this your for loop to your do while loop. Okay, understood? Okay, see you in the next video.